Hello everybody! So last time we left off at the introduction part of Hygge. Okay, so today we're gonna read from page 8 to page 19. Alright, so just a recap, this book is about how to get comfortable. So grab your snacks, desserts, tea, coffee, whichever way that you feel comfortable with, or your little blankie. Okay, just to get yourself comfortable. And we're gonna start reading, shall we? The key to happiness. The key to happiness. Question mark. I have the best job in the world. I study what makes people happy. At the Happiness Research Institute, which is an independent think tank focusing on well-being, happiness, and quality of life. We explore the causes and effects of human happiness and work towards improving the quality of life of citizens across the world. How wonderful. We are based in Denmark, and yes, we do have lit candles at the office Monday to Friday. And yes, our office was partly chosen because of the Hygge factor. No fireplace though. Yet. But we were also founded and are based in Denmark because the country consistently ranks among the happiest nations in the world. Denmark is by no means a perfect utopia, and the country faces challenges and issues like any other country. But I do believe Denmark can be a source of inspiration for how countries can increase the quality of life of their citizens. Denmark's position as one of the happiest countries in the world has created a lot of media interest. On a weekly basis, I'm asked questions like, why are Danes so happy? And what can we learn from Danes when it comes to happiness? From journalists from the New York Times, the BBC, the Guardian, the China Daily, and the Washington Post, among others. In addition, delegations of mayors, researchers, and policymakers from all corners of Earth frequently visit the Happiness Research Institute in pursuit of, well, happiness. Or at least in pursuit of the reasons for the high levels of happiness, well-being, and quality of life people enjoy in Denmark. To many, it is quite the mystery, as besides the horrific weather, Danes are also subject to some of the highest tax rates in the world. Interestingly, there is wide support for the welfare state. The support stems from an awareness of the fact that the welfare model turns our collective wealth into well-being. We are not paying taxes, we are investing in our society. We are purchasing quality of life. The key to understanding the high levels of well-being in Denmark is the welfare model's ability to reduce risk, uncertainty, and anxiety among its citizens and to prevent extreme unhappiness. However, recently, I have also come to realize that there might be an overlooked ingredient in the Danish recipe for happiness, hygge. The word hygge originates from a Norwegian word meaning well-being. For almost 500 years, Denmark and Norway were one kingdom, until Denmark lost Norway in 1814. Hygge appeared in written Danish for the first time in the early 1800s. And the link between Hygge and well-being or happiness may be no coincidence. Danes are the happiest people in Europe according to the European Social Survey, but they are also the ones who meet most often with their friends and family and feel the calmest and most peaceful. Therefore, it is with good reason that we see a growing interest in Hygge. Journalists are touring Denmark searching for Hygge. In the UK, a college is now teaching Danish Hygge. And around the world, Hygge bakeries, shops, and cafes are popping up. But how do you create Hygge? How are Hygge and happiness linked? And what is Hygge exactly? Those are some of the questions this book seeks to answer. I personally love watching bakery videos, and I would love to link one of the channels that I very often would watch their videos. Is a Scandinavian channel that is about the bakeries in Scandinavia. It's very calming and soothing, so I would link that in the description box below. Okay, if you happen to be interested in that, please go check it out. All right, keep going. Let's keep going. Page 12. Instant Hygge. Candles. No recipe for Hygge is complete without candles. When Danes are asked what they most associate with Hygge, an overwhelming 85% will mention candles. The word for spoil sport in Danish is, I don't know how to read this word, lyslykke, which literally means the one who puts out the candles. And this is no coincidence. There's no faster way to get to Hygge than to light a few candles, or, as they are called in Danish, lavendels. Absolutely have no idea what I was pronouncing. Excuse me. Or living lights in English. Living lights. The American ambassador to Denmark, Rufus Gifford, said of the Danes' love affair with candles, I mean, it is not just in the living room, it is everywhere. In your classrooms, in your boardrooms. As an American, you think, fire hazard. How can you possibly have an open flame in your classroom? It is kind of an emotional happiness, an emotional coziness. The American ambassador is onto something. According to the European Candle Association, Denmark burns more candles per head than anywhere in Europe. Each Dane burns around 6 kilos of candle wax each year. To put this in context, each Dane consumes around 3 kilos of bacon per year. Yes, bacon. Bacon consumption per capita is a standard metric in Denmark. The candle consumption is a European record. In fact, Denmark burns almost twice as much candle wax as the runner-up Austria, with 3.16 kilos per year. However, scented candles are not a big thing. In fact, Axe Holmblad, that's the brand's name of it, I think, okay, of candle in Denmark. Denmark's oldest producer of candles don't even include scented candles in their product range. Oh, okay. Scented candles are considered artificial, and Danes prefer natural and organic products. Good for you. In fact, Danes rank towards the top of the list in Europe when it comes to buying organic. Oh wow, that sounds really heavenly to me. All right, Well, we have this picture here, so we're gonna, now we're on page 14. More than half of the Danes light candles almost every day during autumn and winter, and only 4% say they never light candles. According to a survey by one of the major newspapers in Denmark, during December, the candle consumption soars to thrice as many. And this is also the time to witness the special candle that is only to be burned in the days leading up to Christmas, namely the calendarless, the Advent candle. This candle is marked with 24 lines, one for each day in December before Christmas, turning it into the slowest countdown clock in the world. Another special candle occasion is the 4th of May, also known as Lysfest or Light Party. On this evening in 1945, the BBC broadcast that the German forces who had occupied Denmark since 1940 had surrendered. As many countries during the Second World War, Denmark was subject to blackouts to prevent enemy aircraft from navigating by city lights. Today, Danes still celebrate the return of the light on this evening by putting candles in their windows. Hyggelig as they may be, there is one serious drawback to being crazy about candles: the soot. Studies show that lighting just one candle fills the air with microparticles more severely than traffic in a busy street. For real? Wow. A study undertaken by the Danish Building Research Institute showed that candles shed more particles indoors than either cigarettes or cooking. Despite Denmark being a highly regulated country, we are, however, yet to see warning labels on candles. Nobody messes with the Hygge fanatics. There is now a growing awareness among Danes of the importance of airing out a room after burning candles. Nevertheless, despite the health implications, Danes continue to consume candles in obscene quantities. Now we are talking about lamps. All right. Lighting is not just about candles. Danes are obsessed by lighting in general. I once spent 2 hours walking around Rome with my girlfriend at the time to find a restaurant that had Hygge lighting. Danes select lamps carefully and place them strategically to create soothing pools of light. It is an art form, a science and an industry. Some of the most beautifully designed lamps in the world come from the golden age of Danish design. For example, the lamps of Paul Hansen, how do you pronounce that name? Arne Jacobsen and Werner Penton. Visit a student on a shoestring budget and you may still encounter a €1,000 Werner Penton lamp in the corner of her 32 square meter flat. The rule of thumb is the lower the temperature of the light is, the more Hygge. Possibly like this now, okay, like lower temperature of the light. A camera flash is around 5,500 Kelvin K. Fluorescent tubes are 5,000 K. Incandescent lamps 3,000 K, while sunsets, wood, and candle flames are about 1,800 K. That is your Hygge sweet spot. Well, I wonder what is my temperature as me, K. Well, let's get back to the reading. The closest you will ever come to seeing vampires burned by daylight is by inviting a group of Danes for a Hygge dinner and then placing them under a 5,000 K fluorescent light tube. At first, they will squint, trying to examine the torture device you have placed in the ceiling. Then, as dinner begins, observe how they will move uncomfortably around in their chairs, compulsively scratching and trying to suppress twitches. The obsession with lighting comes from the lack of contact with it in the natural world from October to March. During this time, the only resource Denmark has in abundance is darkness. Summers in Denmark are beautiful. When the first rays of light reach the country, Danes awaken from their hibernation and fall over themselves to find spots in the sun. I love summer in Denmark. It is my favorite day of the year. And if it wasn't bad enough that the winters are dark and cold and summers are short, Denmark also has 179 days. 179 days of rain per year. Game of Thrones fans, think of the city of Winterfell. That is why Hygge has been refined to the level it has, and why it is seen as part of the national identity and culture in Denmark. Hygge is the antidote to the cold winter, the rainy days and the duvet of darkness. So while you can have Hygge all year round, it is during winter that it becomes not only a necessity, but a survival strategy. That is why Danes have a reputation of being Hygge fundamentalists and talk about it a lot. My favorite spot in my apartment in Copenhagen is the window sill in the kitchen dining area. It is wide enough to sit comfortably in, and I've added pillows and blankets to make it a real hook crock. The radiator underneath the windowsill makes it a perfect place to enjoy a cup of tea on a cold winter night. But what I like about it most is the warm amber glow issuing from every apartment across the courtyard. It's a constantly changing mosaic of radiance as people leave and come home. In part, I owe this view to Poul Henningsen. Inevitably, a well-lit room in Denmark is likely to hold a lamp by the architect and designer all Danes know simply as PH. The guy, Poul Henningsen, okay, that's why it's the initials PH. He was to a light fixtures what Edison was to the light bulb. PH was, like most Danes today, obsessed with light. Some call him the world's first lighting architect, as he devoted his career to exploring the importance of light for our well-being, aiming to develop a lamp that could spread light without subjecting people to a direct glare. Poul Henningsen was born in 1894 and did not grow up with electric light, but in the soft glow of petroleum lamps. These were his source of inspiration. His designs shape and refine the power of the electric light, yet maintaining the softness of the light of a petroleum lamp. Here's a quote that PH said from, I think it's one of his writing pieces. It's called On Light. So what he said is that, this is the quote: "It doesn't cost money to light a room correctly, but it does require culture." From the age of 18, when I began to experiment with light, I have been searching for harmony in lighting. Human beings are like children. As soon as they get new toys, they throw away their culture, and the orgy starts. The electric light gave the possibility of wallowing in light. When, in the evening, from the top of a tram car, you look into all the homes on the first floor, you shudder at how dismal people's homes are. Furniture, style, carpets, everything in the home is unimportant compared to the positioning of the lighting. And that's it. I hope you enjoy this reading of the night. And possibly you have already fallen asleep. But anyways, thank you for your patience and your time. I wish you all the best, sweet dreams, and I'll see you in the next one.